Howdy, friends. Steve DePoe here for the Rose Realty team. How you doing this week? Everybody safe at home? Nobody sick? That's outstanding. That's our most important thing is that you guys are safe at home, following the rules, so we can come out of this lockdown here in Texas, and we can get back to work. Hey, if I heard correctly, Abbott's going to start opening up Texas starting next week on a slow basis. For us, I mean, golf courses are open, right? I mean, so they're starting slowly to get back to normal. I don't even like to call it the new normal, but they're trying to get back to normal. As for us, Rose and I are doing fine. We're taking care of business. We're still open for business. I haven't had a haircut in like 2.5 months. I'm looking like Albert Einstein here. I'm starting to lose it, but I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Believe me, I'll be okay. This week's real estate vlog, I wanted to talk about the CARES Act that the government signed a couple of weeks back, specifically the mortgage forbearance. So let's go back 10 years to 2008, 2009, 2010, right? The government came along and bailed out a bunch of industries, banks, the teachers unions, and the auto industry. And remember, that didn't sit real well with a lot of the public. The public relations kind of got hit, and they kind of took it on the chin, these organizations, especially banks and I think teachers unions. I'm actually sort of jazzed and excited about the fact, I'm proud about some of the companies this time around during this particular crisis who kind of stepped up, not even having to be asked, but they stepped up and they started taking care of their clients, their customers, and their people as best they could. So Liberty Mutual, for example, was one of the first companies I heard of that offered a rebate on their auto insurance, right? You weren't driving as much, you were locked down, you didn't have to go to work, so they figured, hey, we're going to offer, a rebate back to people. You didn't even have to apply to our people with auto insurance. GMC was offering 0% on for 84 months on any new truck or SUV. 84 months, that's 7 years. That's phenomenal. 0 for 84. Chevy, if you bought a new car or truck from Chevy, they were pushing back the first payment for 120 days. That's 4 months. I guess they figured by then the pandemic would be over and everybody would be back to work, etc. I mean, that's phenomenal. Companies are stepping up. American Airlines, personal story for you. We had a vacation planned starting May 1st. And we weren't going to be able to take it because everything was on lockdown, right? And so I got on the phone to call American, and I'm looking through my itinerary there, and I can't find the tickets. I'm thinking, what the heck? We had to plan this vacation, a year in advance, and did I forget to make the airline reservations? So when I finally got the American person on the line, they said, no, we canceled those tickets. You weren't going to be able to go because of the lockdown. We're offering a free, no questions asked, free 100% rebate. Now we could use those tickets within this calendar year or get 100% rebate. I mean, for all the bad things that people talk about American and then some of the airlines, American made up a lot of goodwill with us, at least that one time around. I mean, phenomenal, taking care of your customers. And locally here, Kroger and Doug's Country Market is offering free delivery. I mean, that's phenomenal. That keeps their employees busy and working, and then it keeps the people who are on lockdown and trying to stay safe at home. It keeps them eating, right? So Kroger, Doug's Country Market, good job. But I wanted to kind of change gears and talk about the CARES Act and the mortgage forbearance. And so in order to be able to qualify for the mortgage forbearance, your mortgage has to be backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, the Federal Housing Administration, Veterans Affairs, or the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is usually farms and larger pieces of property. Now, there are two ways that the forbearance works. The first way is they just take and shift back your mortgage. So let's say, for example, you're going to do a forbearance of 3 months, okay? So let's say your mortgage, several years from now is you set to pay it off in January. Well, you add 3 months to that, your last payment will be in April instead of January, right? So that just pushes everything back. You still have to take care of your taxes and your insurance, but the mortgage portion of it is just pushed back. That's a great method. The other method that companies are using is, let's say again, you want a forbearance of 3 months, and let's just say your mortgage is $2,000 a month. Okay, so at the end of the 3 months, you'll owe your mortgage, because you have to catch up on your mortgage. You'll owe 2,000 times three, or $6,000 at the end of that forbearance, and then a month later you'll owe another $2,000 for your normal mortgage. So one of those works really well for people. One of them is sort of relief, temporary relief, but then you have to catch up all in one bucket. So the punchline here is, what you have to do is, if you're looking to take advantage of the mortgage forbearance, talk to your bank, find out which method they're using, and then what your obligation is to catch up on the mortgage once the settlement happens. Okay, so that's important for you to talk to your bank, or talk to your mortgage company, and find out which method they're using. Now, next week we're going to talk about what we can expect in the mortgage industry, and excuse me, not mortgage industry, what we can expect in real estate after this pandemic and lockdown is over. We have a lot of analytics and a lot of anecdotal evidence to let you know what we expect to happen as soon as the lockdown is over and we're back to like full force, right? So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned next week. This is Steve DePoe, or Albert Einstein, with the Rose Realty team. I'm going to bounce.